This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, my requirement is I want to develop an OData service, okay, which has to what upload and download, which has to upload and download the content of the files, okay, to the database table or read the content of the files from the database table. So my requirement is first let me create one table, one database table. That table should hold the information of what file and its contents. That file can be any file. It can be a text file, it can be an Excel file, it can be an image file, whatever it is. So that table should store the information about the file, like what is the name of the file, on which date it is created, which time, the content of the file, and what is the type of the file, whether it is text file or whether it is an image file, whatever it is. Okay, that information has to be there in the table. Then I need to develop the OData service to deal with that particular table for uploading and what downloading. So first, let me create one table. Okay, let me quickly create the table. I'll give the table name as something z file info. Okay, so I'll just give the description as something table holding what file info and what file information and file contents. I'll choose what customizing table, display maintenance alert fields. What shall I give client dependent? Yes, let me give client dependent, right? So I'll give the data element MNDT. Then let me give another field file name. I'll give one data element like what char 100, which is a standard data element. Then let me give another field like creation date. I'll use a data element as sci datum. Done. Then I'll take another field creation time. Let me give it a sci UJIT. Then I'll give what file content. This is the field which will store what content of the file. Okay, so this I need to give it as existing val. There is a standard data element called as existing val. Done. Then I'll take another field file type. Let me give it as character of 20. So I'm using all standard data elements only. Okay, so this is standard data element date time. Existing val is what data type? Raw string, hexadecimal string, raw string. Okay, hexadecimal string. That's all. Let me give the technical settings. I'll save it in the local object. Done. What shall I choose? APPL 0. Size category, I'll give it as something 0. Let me save it. I need to give the enhancement category now, so I'll go to extras, enhancement category. I'll choose can be enhanced deep. I'll select this two as what? Key fields. Right, so this is a table. As of now, the table doesn't have any data. So what is the purpose of the file? It has to hold the information of the file and also the content of the what file and also the content of the file. Okay, done. So we'll come back to this file later on again. I'll develop the OData service. So what is the job of my OData service? It has to what? Upload and download the content of the file to this particular database table or from this database table. So see the technique here. I'll go to SCG. Oh, all are deleted. Okay, done. So I'll just click on create the project. I'll give the project name, project 11 something. I'll give some information, upload and download. Let me save it as what local object. Done. Okay. So now let me create what one entity. I'll create one entity. So right click on this. I'll create the entity. Yes, Surendra, I didn't get you. Yeah, it will be available. It will be available physically. Yeah, but I don't require that. Anyway, I'm creating what new project. Right. Entity type name. Okay, I'll give entity type name as what shall name shall I use? File I'll give. I'll just give a meaningful name file. I'll create the related entity set. Devashish, what is the doubt, boss? I have not received the recording for December 10th. What about others? I think I've shared December 10th recording. I've shared with everyone. Okay, let me cross check. Let me cross check. I'll redo it if I'm not. I think I've done it. I've shared all the recordings, but let me check. Right. So what is the name of the entity I'm giving? File. I'll give the entity set name as file set. Done. So here I'm dealing with what files now? I'm dealing with the file. So earlier, when you're dealing with the images also, we marked that as what media link entity. Media link entity. So here also, I need to select the checkbox what media. Why I are selecting this media? You'll understand. In the earlier discussion also, when you are dealing with the images, how do you refer to that content of that image? Dollar value now. So nothing but it's a what media link. Here also I need to refer to the content of the file. Okay, so that's the reason I need to select this entity as what media link entity. Okay, I need to receive it. I need to create this entity as a media link entity so that I can use that particular dollar value option. Dollar value option. Okay, so I'm selecting it as media link entry. Done. Created that. Then what shall I give? Yeah, as part of this entity, let me create some properties. I'll take only one property here. Let me take the property name as, I'll take the property name as something file name. Okay, anyhow, we have only one property, so I'll select this as key property. Let me give the data type as what edm dot what string. That's all. Save it, check for the syntax error, generate the runtime artifact. So what I have done so far, I created one entity. Okay, what is the entity name? File. I marked it as what media link entry, media link entity. Why? Because I need to deal with what content of the files. I need to deal with the content of the file. That is the reason I need to deal it as what I need to mark it as what media, and so that I can use the query option what dollar value, dollar value. Okay, done. So now what is my agenda here? I need to what upload the file content as well as what download the file content. So if you go to data provider extension class, observe here, if you go to data provider extension class, in the data provider extension class we have some related methods. Let me open that. Already we know stub methods, already we know stub methods, and we also know what some method like what execute underscore action for function import, and we also know a method what copy underscore data underscore to underscore what ref. Similarly, we have one method here for upload and download. What is that? Yeah, you can see there is a method called as here what update underscore what stream, update underscore stream method. What is the purpose of this? It is used for uploading the file and its contents to what database table. So what is the description they give here? Executes and update it. Similarly, we have a method called as get underscore stream. Somewhere it will be there. Get underscore stream method. This is for downloading. Yeah, get underscore stream, this is for what downloading. Okay, update underscore stream, and what is the method? Update underscore stream and get underscore what stream. So first let me implement what update underscore stream. What is the purpose of this? For downloading the file contents to what database table. So I'll redefine the update underscore stream method. I'll redefine that. Yeah. So very simple logic. What is my requirement is try to understand. We have created just now we have created one database table now, right? So to this table, I need to what? Upload the file information and the content of the file. For example, assume that I am having a file here. I am having a text file here. What is that? Cus dot. So when I'm sending the request, I'll give this file name. I'll give this file name, and the content of this file. This some content here. This content I have to put it in what? Database table. I have to put it in the database table. The information of the file and the content of the file should be stored in that particular database table. So this can be a text file, or it can be Excel file, or it can be an image file, whatever it is. It can be anything. Okay. So let me implement that method here, update underscore stream. So I have to insert the record into this table. Basically, agenda is what? I have to insert a record into this particular table. So how do we insert one record into the table? By using what? Insert statement, or what? By using what? Modify statement. So you will say insert database table from work area, or modify database table from work area. So I'm going to, what is the key property in my entity? File name is the key property. Only one field is there. Only one property is there. So I'm going to pass the file name as what? Input. So the first step I have to do is read the file name, passed as what? Input. Read the file name passed as input. So what is the parameter which will carry that input parameter here? Yeah, same thing. IT underscore key underscore tab. It is of type what? Table type. Name value fields. Okay. So I'll say data w underscore key underscore something tab, like line of, what is that? IT underscore key underscore tab. So I'll just read it. Before I use it, let me clear it. Clear w underscore key underscore tab. Yeah, here I'll say read table what? IT underscore key underscore tab into what? W underscore key underscore tab index what? 1. Index 1. Done. If size of bar is equal to 0. So what is the agenda? I have to insert the record into the database table now. So I need to prepare a work area. So prepare what? Work area for inserting file info into what? Database table. So data w underscore file info type. What is my database table name? Just now I created. What is the database table name I created? Z file info is the database table name. So I'm creating a work area based on that. Z file info. Done. Yeah. So clear it before I use w underscore file info. Done. Now here, what are the fields in this? We have main DT done. File name we are having, that anyhow we are passing as input. Then we have creation date, creation time. File content is there. And file type is there. Good. File content is there and file type is there. Okay. File content and file type. Okay, done. So simple. See here. W underscore file info hyphen MINDT anyway, it will automatically insert file name equal to, what is the field which is carrying that? It will come into work area now. What is that? W underscore key underscore tab I'm going to pass a file name as input. So I'll receive that in the work area. I'm assigning it. Then w underscore file info. W underscore file info. What is the next field here? Creation data. So I'll say creation date equal to, I'll just directly give the system date. Psi datum. Then I'll say w underscore file info hyphen what? Creation time equal to what? Psi UGIT. Psi UGIT. Done. Then w underscore file info hyphen. What is the next field here? What is the next field for what? File content and file type. File content and file type. Oh, okay. File content. So when I'm sending the request, I'll pass the name of the file. I'll also pass the content of the file. So how do you pass the content? We'll see shortly. File type. Okay. So I repeat once again. When I'm sending the request, I'll pass the name of the file as well as the content of the file also. Okay. So how the content is received means, I think it is in the parameters. Good. You can see here in the update underscore stream method. In the update underscore stream method, there is an importing parameter. What is that? Yeah, let me complete this point, then we'll address that. So what is this here? We have an import parameter. What is that? Is underscore media underscore what? Resource. Is underscore media underscore resource. It is a what type? ty underscore s underscore media underscore resource. If I double click on this, it has got two fields. What are they? Mime underscore type, it is of type string. Value is what type? X string. Mime underscore type is type string. Value is of type what? Hexadecimal string. Okay, so keep this in mind. What is the parameter name here? Is underscore media underscore resource. So file content is equal to what? Is underscore media underscore resource hyphen what? Value done, and file type equal to, again same parameter. What is that? Is underscore media underscore resource hyphen, what is the other field? Just now we observed mime underscore type. Value is what type? X string. Mime underscore what type? Is a string. So if you see the database table also, file content is also what? Same type, X string or X string val, both are same. And then what? File type is what? String only, a character of 20. Understood? So whatever the content we are sending it through the request, that is received through this parameter. What are the file content that we are going to send at the time of request? It is received through which parameter? Is underscore media underscore resource. My work area is prepared. Done. Now what I have to do? What I have to do? I have to insert, or I have to what? Modify. Insert or modify file info and its contents to what? Database tables. What I'll do here, I'll use modify. Even if it is available, it will update. Modify, what is my database table name? Z file info from w underscore what? File info. Agenda is what? You have to store it in the database table, and that database table should contain the file information, including the content. Including the content. That's all. I think this will work. End for if we got ended. Let me save it. Check for the syntax error. Good. Activity. I'll put the breakpoint here just to understand when this method gets what? Executed. Okay. So agenda is what? You have to insert into my database table. How do we insert one record at a time? You have to prepare the work area. So I prepared the work area of your you have to prepare the work area of your database table. I have associated the appropriate data, and then I'm inserting or modifying into the database table. Better we regenerate the runtime artifacts. What happened? It's still generating. Okay, done. Now, since it's the first time, I need to register this service with the gateway. No, no, file, we are not bothered about the file, Rajendra. File we will never prepare. Agenda is what? We have to upload the existing file to what? Our SAP system, SAP database table. So who has prepared that file? From where we got that file? What is the type of that file? We are not bothered. There is some
Oh,
information is there in the file. That content I have to put it in my database table. That
oh,
information can be a text information or it can be a picture or whatever it
nice.
is.
Okay. So, but there is no relation to input like front-end data, nothing,
No,
right?
no, no, nothing like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. So where we are now? 1 second, please. 1 second. Yeah. So let me go back to this where we are. So now I need to what? Register. Right click on this. Also register. Service is already registered. Okay, done. Also maintain. This is important. Observe it. SAP Gateway Client. Okay, now before I test it, if you go to the table, as of my table is empty, I think. If I go to the contents of the table, number of entries are what? Zero. Done. Number of entries are zero. Now what I'll do here. Okay, so what is my entity set name? File set. Done. So just try to understand. Okay, I gave this entity set name, that is file set. What is the HTTP method? Get only. Now, what is my agenda here? Agenda is what? I need to send the file and its contents as part of my request. So somewhere, yeah, somewhere in the request section you can see we have a button called as add file. We have a button called as add file. I'll click on this add file. Done. Okay. So it is asking for what? The path of the file. It is asking for the path of the file. Okay. So it will always show the local what? File system. So where it is available on the desktop. On the desktop. Hmm, okay. You have to decide which file you want. Let me go for this file. What is that? Custom. Okay. I'm selecting this. I'll say open. Hello. Hello. Good. You can see here, left hand side, the content of the file is there in the request now. Understood? So, whatever the file I selected, that content is there in the file. Now, what you have to do is, okay, now what you have to do is, acha, good. One more thing you can observe here. Before clicking on the add file button, what was the method here? Get method. Now it is automatically selected as what? Put method. I repeat this once again. I'll go back. I'll go back. See once again. Okay, what is my entity set name? File set. Only one entity is there. Done. What is the default HTTP method selected there? Get method. I'm not disturbing that. So what is my agenda here? I have to send a file name. What is the key property for this entity? Only one property is there, that is file name. So I have to send the name of the file. I have to send the name of the file as well as the content of the file. How do you send the content of the file? In the request section, we have a button called as add file. Where is that? Yeah, I'll choose what? Cust. Some file. It's a text file, I think. It is showing me the content of that file in the left hand side. Okay, I'm not bothered about the content. Who has prepared, from where I got the content, I'm least bothered about that. My agenda is what? To upload the content to my table. Done. This is my content. Now you can see automatically the what HTTP method is selected as what? Put. So don't disturb that. Now what is the input you have to give? The name of the file. What is the name of the file? customer. So let me give it. Okay. What is the file numbers? Customer, cust.txt. You can give any name. Okay, it's our wish. I get as cust.txt. Then here I need to, since I have to send the content also, I have to use what query option, what dollar value at the end. We have to use the option what dollar value. Then only this content will be transferred. Okay. Okay, let's see what happened. So I'm sending the request. So what is the HTTP method selected? Put automatically it is selected. Remember, I'll click on what execute. Oh, I got error. Why? Oh my god. No default virus profile active or found. Please check the official guides. Okay, this is not related to our program. No default virus profile active or found. I'll do one thing. Okay, this is a server issue. So I'll say execute. It's a admin issue here. One second. One second. I think we'll get that. Hmm. Okay, I need to deactivate the virus scan profile, it seems. Since I'm dealing with the content, I need to deactivate. What is the T code? Virus underscore scan. Okay, okay. AWFND virus scan. Okay, I'm just going to this. I'll just select this checkbox. I'm just going by Google. Okay, so we need to switch off that virus scan, it seems. Okay, virus scanning is not active. Okay, done. I'll go to SCGW. Right, so this new project, maintain. I'll go to SAP Gateway Client. Done. So by default it is not execute get method here. I'll choose the entity set, file set. Before that, before that, if you go back to your table, number of entries are 0. Remember that. Okay, done. Okay, so now here what I have to do, I have to choose a file now. Let me choose a text file first. I'll choose this text file. Done. Hello, hello. And I got the content in the request section. Here I need to give the name of the file. You can give any name. Actual file name is cus.txt. I think I can give anything. So I'll give something cus.txt. And since I need to transport the content also, you have to use the query option with dollar value. When we can use this query option dollar value only if the entity is marked as what? Media link entry. So here in single quotes, cus.txt slash dollar value. I don't think I'll get the error now. Let me check. Okay, automatically what is the method selected? Put method. Execute this. Is it stopping? Good. Understood. So it was a setting issue. Virus scanning has to be switched off itself. Okay, I'll go to desktop 3. Right, I'm reading the content here. Yes, this is the content. What is the name of the file? cus.txt. Done. Okay, I'm preparing that work area. Preparing this work area. Done. I have prepared. Then what is the file content here? It is stored in some hexadecimal. Sorry, it is stored in some hexadecimal string format. So when I say fit, good. So I got in green color 204. This is response body. Done. Let me do one thing. I'll go for another file. I'll give the image file now. Done. So here I'll give the name of the file as actual file name is what is the actual file name here? Any image. So the file name is something Sridhar photo. Okay, .jpg. Okay, so I'll give the file name as something what Sri.jpg. Sri.jpg. Okay, done. Dollar value. Execute this. Yeah, again it is going there. I'm not interested to debug. I'll say fit that response body. So I uploaded what? Two files. What are they? cus.txt and Sri.jpg. Let me go to the database table. Yeah, good. I got what? Two entries. Successful inserted now. So if I execute this, yeah. Understood. This is stored in what? Hexadecimal string format. 0 to 9 and A to F. Okay, so today only now. So today's date and some server date and time. What is the file names? cus.txt and not 3.jpg. So I'm able to upload the file information including the content. I'm able to upload the file including the content into the database table. Now I'll try to quickly download. So how to download? Very clear. I want to see that response. So what I'll do in the data upload extension class for uploading, what is the method I implemented? Update underscore stream. Na? Okay. For downloading, I need to use a method called as get underscore stream. Yes, get underscore stream method. Get underscore stream method. I'll put the cursor. I'll redefine the method. Get underscore stream method. Done. So this is the purpose of this is downloading the file and its contents to the response section. Okay. So get underscore stream, same kind of logic. So what is the parameter here? It underscore key tab also data w underscore key underscore tab like line of what line of what? IT underscore key underscore what? Tab. Done. So how do you read one entry? We are going to send the input as what? File name. So read table IT underscore key underscore tab into what is the work area? W underscore key underscore tab index what? 1. Read table IT underscore key underscore tab into W underscore key underscore tab index 1. If size of bars is equal to what? 0. If size of bars is equal to 0, what I have to do? Read the file info from what? Database table. Okay. Read the file info from the database table. How do you read one entry from the database table? Select single. Na? So I require a work area. Data underscore W info type. What is my table name? Database table name Z file info. I declared a work area. Write the data. Select single star. Select single star from what? Z file info. Okay, Z file info into what is the work area? W underscore what file info. Okay, where what is one of the field in this particular database table? File name. Na? If you go back to this particular table, file name, yes, where file name. Okay, so I'll say where file name is equal to, okay, where file name is equal to what is the input value? W underscore key underscore tab hyphen what? Value. W underscore key underscore tab hyphen value. Done. Done. If size of bars is equal to what? 0. If the read is successful, what you have to do now? We need to what? Extract the file content. How do you extract the file content is hmm, hmm, right. So in the earlier example, we had one declaration data w underscore media. I think I already covered this in earlier 2 3 days back also. The same type declaration. Ty underscore s underscore media underscore what resource. Ty underscore s underscore media underscore resource. So in the runtime artifacts only in one of the what in one of the class we have the type declaration. What is that? Ty underscore s underscore media underscore resource which will hold the media type information. Ty underscore s underscore media underscore resource. Now I'll say w underscore media hyphen it has two fields value and main type. Value equal to in my database table what is the field which will store the content of the file? File content. Na? File content the type of the file is file type. So here I'll say what w underscore file info hyphen hyphen what file content then w underscore media hyphen what the other field we know in this main type equal to w underscore file info hyphen what is the other field file type my yeah file type. That's all. Okay, so I extracted the file content. Now what you have to do, you have to return the file content to response. Already we know we have one method. Na? What is that method? Copy underscore data underscore to underscore ref. If you remember this, it has got one importing and one changing parameter. What is the parameter name? Is underscore data. Is underscore data. Another parameter cr underscore data. We have used it for 5 examples. Okay. Is underscore data equal to what is that you want to return in the response? W underscore what? Media. What is this W underscore media content? The content of the file and the type of the file. Media, what is the other one? Changing, changing. Changing, what is the parameter? CR, I think. Yes, CR underscore data equal to CR underscore data is type ref to data. Already we know CR underscore data is type ref to data. Do any parameter of that sort? Yes, type ref to data. What is that? ER underscore stream. ER underscore stream. So I just say ER underscore stream. That's all. And if one more and if so what this method is going to do, it is going to download the content of the file. So where is the content of the file is stored in our database table now. So I'm getting that information in the database table. You have to return it as a response. Okay, so I need to declare a declaration of type ty underscore s underscore media resource, which has got two fields, value and main type. Value will hold the content of the file. In our table, what is the field which is holding the content? File content. That's all. How do you return anything to the response? By calling the method what? Copy data to ref. In function import also we have used this method. Done. Activate this. I'll put the breakpoint here also. Okay, I use the breakpoint. Done. Yeah. Now, since I'm reading here, I think I need to use get method only. Yeah. Before I test it. What are the entries in my file? File names, you have to give proper names. What is that? Cust.txt is there and sri.jpg is there. Cust.txt and what? Sri.jpg. Okay, so let me maintain it. I'll go to gateway client. Entity set is what? File set. What is the input you have to give? File name you have to give the input now. Okay, so here I'll give cst.txt. Okay, I'm giving what? cst.txt. Since I have to read the content, I have to use what? Dollar value. What is the string method I'm using? Execute. Wantedly I gave a non-existing file name. cst.txt. Let me try to execute this. What happens? Yes, it is calling that method. It is calling that method, but I think select single will fail. Yeah, size of ours is what? 4. Size of ours is 4. Good. Resource not found. The given resource not found. What is the name of the file? cust.txt. Let me execute this. Yeah, again the same method is invoked. Now the size of RC will work. It will be equal to 0. Yes. Now I'm extracting the content to this. Value and main type. Value is an hexadecimal string format. Done. I have to return it to response. How do you return it to the response? By calling the method what? Copy data to ref. And I say fit. I got the data output. Good. I got the response of the file. I got the response of the file in the, sorry, I got the content of the file in the response section. What is the other file name? Sri.jpg. Sri.jpg. So let me try to give that. Sri.jpg. Okay, done. I'll execute this. Again, the same method will be called. I'll say fit. Good. I got the image. Okay. I will not use dollar value. Let's see what happens. I'm just giving that c.jpg. I'll click on execute. I'll say hello. What is the error I got? Method file set. It is invoking a different method now. See, method file set underscore get, because already we know this, right? Okay, this is for execute which stuff? Get entity now. But I am interested in the content of the file. So I have to use what option? Dollar value. Dollar value. Am I clear to everyone? It is, we have not implemented this stub method. That's why I got this error. So I am interested in the content of that file. So you have to use what? I am interested in the content of the media resource. So I have to use what? Query option what? Dollar value. If you want, if you are using dollar value, the entity should be marked as what? Media link entry. That I got the content. Is it clear? So this is the way to upload and download the file content from your what? Database server. What are the methods I have to use? Update underscore stream and what? Get underscore stream. Okay. So in the next class, we will see the delete operation. I have not checked it. That's the reason I have discussed this part. So anyhow, tomorrow and day after tomorrow we don't have class. We'll have it again on Monday. So by Monday I'll try to test the delete operation so that we can discuss in the live session. Okay, and even that whether we can deal with that application server file also. I checked it. It is not showing any valid information, but still I'll take some time. Okay, let me do some R&D on that, and I'll discuss that on Monday. Okay, let me check whether it's possible or not. First of all, any questions in this part, please ask me. Done. So practice this. I'll try to share this recording and material by end of today. Okay, we'll have our next class on what Monday. Okay, and if you people also having time, try to do the delete operation in the function import. Okay, so let's see if it's possible or not. Probably I'll discuss that on what Monday session. Done. So if you don't have any questions, I'll wind off. Surendra, what was your doubt? To create any file. That's what I said. No? As of now, we are dealing with the files on the local system. We are dealing with the files on what? Local system. Okay. So let me check through OData service whether it is possible to deal with what application server files. Okay, I tried many ways, but it's not allowing. Let me still do some analysis and I'll discuss that on Monday. Application server file, we'll try to discuss on Monday if it is possible. Okay, when you're doing the BDC programs, file can be on the local system or it can be on what? Application server. Okay, so as far as this OData is concerned, it always allows for the local files only. But still, let me check if it is possible through OData service to deal with what? Application server files. Now only just now we have seen when I clicked on the add file button, it is showing me the local directory structure. It will not showing you what? It is not showing me the application server structure. So I need to do some analysis on it, then I can comment. Okay. Any other doubts? Shut it up. So I'll wind off. We'll continue again on what Monday.